Go. I do believe we are live, so I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again for another conscious evolution. Today's stream topic is about thinking the unthinkable, thoughts that we're not supposed to think. That's what we're gonna think about today. And it was inspired by Joy Vive and Sam collectively inspiring me to come up with a topic. I did mention that I've been in this contemplative state where I keep thinking about things, and then it feels like the thing I'm thinking about is of significant enough value to be shared as a topic. But it's almost like even though I've had the thought and I had the value in the moment, I cannot articulate a like short title for what I'm going through. And then it's almost like I forget it. Or I say forget it. All right, forget it. And then I move on. And then I go through that contemplative state again. And it's happened a few times today. And I was mentioning that I've been in this thoughtful state. And then they suggested today's stream topic, like the things we're not supposed to think about. First and foremost, with this is an idea of a topic, I don't think there are things that you're not supposed to think about. Much love to my homies and homettes. Thank you, Duck Dad. Much love to you, bro. It's nice having you here too. I don't think there are thoughts that aren't supposed to be thought. Uh, right? And if I did, it would be pretty Orwellian of me to make any of that rule, right? So on the other side, if I don't believe that thoughts aren't not supposed to be had, thoughts aren't not supposed to be thought, it makes me think about the value of them, right? On the other side, that if thoughts are in our minds, do they have value? Try not thinking about it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Nancy. All we have to do is try not thinking about it. There's a few different like tangents open in my mind, right? One, I don't think we should be limiting ourselves to what we're capable of thinking of. On the other side, despite believing that, I had like thoughts of insecurity during my yoga practice today, where I feel a little bit more fluffy than I would like to. Fluffy is not the right word. Fat. Fine. Fine. I feel a little bit more chubby than I want to, right? And then as I'm going through my yoga practice, just giving my cues, I'm having these thoughts. And I'm like, bro, these are thoughts that I don't want to think. Maybe I should think them sometimes. Maybe they have value in thinking them in a certain scenario, in a certain state, in a certain circumstance. But in that very moment, it wasn't helping, right? It wasn't a thought that was exactly helpful to my process. It wasn't uplifting me. So that kind of steered me in the direction of thinking that maybe the thoughts that we're not supposed to think about are the thoughts that don't help, right? You can think about a bunch of things, right? And maybe in your mind, depending on how conservative you are or not, the thoughts you think you're not supposed to think about. The thoughts you think you're not supposed to think about might be sexual in nature, right? And in that way, you might feel like you are wrong for having such thoughts. But again, it's more for me a sense of helpfulness, right? I don't think the actual sexual thought is evil in and of itself, but it might just not be helpful, right? Like it might not serve you in that moment. And in that way, that should be our attachment to the thoughts that shouldn't be thought. Not evil and good, but helpful or not, right? And in that way, I feel like we give ourselves a little bit more clarity about why it is we gatekeep We try and manage, we try and egotistically control, we try and shape our own thoughts, uh, trying to make it more helpful. At least that's the way that I understood my own process. What do you friends think? Let me know. There's an old proverb. A man comes up to a healer and says, I have this disease that will kill me. Do you have anything that can cure it? The healer says, yes, but only when you take the medicine you don't think about. I'm gonna see if there's more. Says the healer says there is a cure, but only if you take the medicine you don't think about a monkey. Trying not to think about something is the fastest way to think about it. So you can take the medicine and then not think about a monkey, and then you would be cured. In other words, he he is going to die of the disease that he has still. Again, it's a helpfulness thing, right? If someone says the word monkey, thinking about a monkey is helpful in this moment because it helps you relate to the language that this person is using, makes you understand what idea they're trying to bring into this collective mind we are a part of, right? So in that way, it's still helpful to me. I don't know if it resonates with the unhelpful thoughts, right? Because in that way, sexual thoughts can be unhelpful to me. Thoughts of insecurity, that's the biggest one, can be unhelpful to me. Thoughts of worry, thoughts of catastrophizing, pretty unhelpful. Most of the time, yeah, pretty unhelpful. What else? Thoughts of politics. Unless I'm planning on doing anything about it, pretty unhelpful. Thoughts of finances. Again, maybe not unhelpful always, but in most moments they can be. Not evil, like none of those thoughts are evil, right? It's not evil for you to think about, how are you going to pay for rent next month, right? That's not an evil thing to think about. But it can be very unhelpful. Like you don't want to have that thought. Maybe you're having a good time with your friends, and then suddenly you think about rent, and now you're having a bad time. Kind of vibes, right? Morning, friends and fam. Morning, Javiv. It's especially unhelpful to have sexy time thoughts in the middle of a team meeting. Are you speaking from experience, Javiv? If I didn't think about the things I'm not supposed to, I'm pretty sure I'd have no brain activity. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Joy, that's the most helpful. I leave the camera on to assert dominance. No, please. Oh, no, please. Yeah, I mean, again, not helpful, right? Kind of vibes. Not evil. Like, there's no, in my mind at least, I would like to believe, there's no malicious intent in most beings when sexuality arises in their beings, right? But it can be very unhelpful. You might be, like, it will literally fuck with your decision making skills. It will make you think about that thing instead of thinking about all of the ways that that's not a good idea. Thoughts of politics, your awareness of politics is what is going on around you. It's crucial for your decision making, just talking about decision making, regarding how you move and behave in public spaces. Yeah, true. And again, if you're in public spaces, then maybe thoughts of politics could be helpful, right? If you're in a public space where certain people are more politically oriented than, or differently politically oriented than you are, then it could be helpful. But me thinking about politics here doesn't help much. It can cause me anxiety, it can cause me concern. It can cause me existential dread, but it cannot help me, unfortunately, right? Again, back to unhelpful. I like to put my repressed sexual thoughts into hard manual labor, just like the Amish. Well, the Amish get some shit done. Maybe they know what they're talking about. Says the techno hippie. No, but I do get the whole, like for me, it's more a matter of not wanting to talk about this topic. This is one of the other nugs that Crops gave me. It is very nice. So savory. Like, like garlic and herbs. Like, this is like vaping like a garlic bun. Very interesting. I shouldn't read this sentence, but I find it hilarious, so I'll say anyway. I just saw a beautifully upturned ankle, Jediah. Time to go and put up a third story on the barn. Jediah, I am unbetrothed, and I just saw some ankle. Let's go put on fourth story on barn. As far as my anxiety goes, when I notice thoughts that are contributing to my anxiousness, I redirect those thoughts. So I'm helping myself. Redirecting thoughts. Do you redirect your thoughts into things that you think you're supposed to be thinking about? Or do you think about things you are good at thinking about? Do you have like a list? Do you have like a little go-to, like a little cheat sheet that you hold on to, Nancy? Do let us know. Teach us your ways. Nanji, one thing that I've done with my anxiety lately is I think about emotions like waves. Happy, sad, or angry doesn't really matter because waves go in and out at the same pace. I honor the feeling I'm stuck in the moment. I picture the wave in my head going through its motions from starting out in the water and raising high and curling and crashing down. I try to breathe. I'm starting to get a little better at bringing the emotions down after a few waves. But for me, the waves make it understandable, like emotions aren't supposed to last forever. That is very beautiful. Like that. And like if there was ever a moment, right, that would like be documented, right? Like if there was a psychologist sitting here with us, and like, oh, Doctor has made significant progress in his emotional waves, and his ability to weather said waves will only grow stronger and stronger. Like I am laying it on thick, but seriously, bro, like those words that you said, many people never get to that point. We're super proud of you, man. That's awesome. Redirect and reframe. Holding on to you. Bless you. I played a Final Fantasy game that really tied a bow on this subject. It was X Final Fantasy X, and the point of it was that the pains of this life are a dream, and dreams end. We did talk about pain yesterday, Sam, and we did talk about, or I was jokingly saying, how this life thing, this being on Earth thing, one of the experiences you can guarantee yourself to have is pain. Coming to Earth, you will experience pain, amongst other things, but there will be pain. And in that way, it can be very dreamlike, this thing we call life. But I don't think it ends, right? It doesn't end ultimately. It ends maybe the way a movie ends to you watching it, right? But there's no real end because you're still getting up from the couch and doing something else after you watched your movie, right? And I feel like it keeps going. Like if you think, no, but Mel, there is another layer. You're gonna die one day. Yes. And then when I die one day, the thing looking through me, experiencing my life as a movie, is gonna get up and do something else. No, but Mel, what if that thing dies eventually? Then there's clearly something, it doesn't stop. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just here for the ride. I'm here for this moment. All right. I'm here for this dream. I'm here for these feelings. I'm here for these waves crashing over me, slowly but surely melting everything that isn't supposed to be a part of the self. Wash me clean, universe. Mel, you are finally cusping the age of 25. I mean, I did turn 26 like a few months ago. A month ago. That's a few months ago now, basically. I did turn 26. So I hate to say it, my brother, but existential dread is a part of your thought process now. It's just the awareness of consciousness. Yeah, I don't really have that much existential dread. I just start having existential dread when I think about human stupidity, and the kind of people that are in power and that have like a lot of money and massive decision making sway. That shit gives me like a slight bit of like, oh goodness, are we gonna be okay? Oh, don't take the stress of life too seriously. We're only visiting this place. Yeah. Of In this place. We are in this world, but we are not of this world, right? That's the phrase. Well, basically what Dak said, remind myself that what I'm feeling is impermanent and will pass. That the usually negative narrative is not truth. Mm, yeah. Love is true, right? Love is that constant. Love is that thing that doesn't pass. Everything else will. Everything else will change, but love won't. That feeling of love will stay significant. My mind is like scrolling down so many fractals of like people loving their pets and people loving their plants and people loving each other and parents loving their kids and kids loving their parents and lovers loving one another and brothers loving each other. The nature of that love is different. No, 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 no. Maybe the other way. Yeah, maybe is it nature? Is it nature? Maybe the expression of that love is different, but the nature of it stays the same. The willingness to connect, the willingness to care, the willingness to give your presence, right? That's what love is to me. One of the biggest ones, to me at least. Love is also the ability to endure. So, despite things being hard, despite things being painful, you continue onward. Despite the thoughts being bad, right? Love is true, as in, you're gonna get through the other side of it by the power of love, by your belief, by your trust in love, right? Because clearly the negative isn't the truth, the love is. And you just have to keep pushing through. My mind is going down thoughts that it maybe is not supposed to. Thinking about all of the love I've missed out on because I haven't been present. because I wasn't willing to endure. Like thinking about the skills I could have learned if I, just by the power of love, endured a little bit more. What ifs, right? Not useful. Not useful thoughts. Bring it back. Yes, Mel. I actually read. I got I got Mel to actually read my inappropriateness. Bless you, bro. Mel, those words just have said of those words you have said of my words fill me with power and joy. You get it, bro. You get it. Doctor, you keep growing, bro. Sending you lovins. It's nice having you here, Pojo. The constructive and supportive efforts that we express towards the energy of harmony. This is love, I think. Mm. Right? In my mind, that constructive effort is that presence you give. Right? Even though I get what you mean with what you're saying, and it resonates with me, right? That willingness to put energy forth to generate this harmony, this sense of like ah, we together and right? That's harmony in my mind. But but again, harmony builds on top of love, like love being the core. Because if love wasn't there, we wouldn't have even showed up. We wouldn't have been willing to give our presence to this collective for a harmony to even arise, in our unity kind of vibe. And I'm not trying to disagree with you. I hope that's painfully clear, Pojo. I'm taking in what you're saying, and I am taking the parts of it that I feel is truth, and I a lot of it, right? All of it, basically. We can either help heal this place, yeah, or we can refuse to recognize how effective our hearts can be, or something like that. Mm. Presence again for me, right? How effective your love can be, and I think maybe that is like a good way to continue our conversation, because a lot of us, and I'm not trying to talk about us in the space. Trying to talk about us as a species, as people. A lot of us don't believe our love can make that big of a difference, right? How much of a difference can I make, right? How much of a difference can my love make to another person, to a stranger, even? And if you believe your love can make no difference, that's the best way for your love to make no difference. The number one way to make no difference. We can either heal, bless again. Sounded like we were agreeing. Yeah, we were. I think we were. I think we were just using different fractals to say the same thing. The blessed fog has made its way to my backyard. That sounds so nice. More like high clouds. But I know it's from the fog. It does have an energy to it. Getting to see that much water in the air. Foggy mornings are awesome. If you don't have to travel, true. Yeah, driving in a foggy morning is not exactly my idea of a good time either. But I remember the first time I ever saw a foggy morning. We were in the Dragonsberga, and I came outside, and there was just fog everywhere, and it was super cold as well. And I had this ability to blow a lot of vapor out of my lungs when breathing, right? Like more than traditionally. It looked like I was smoking. So, me being who I am as a 5 year old, I proceeded to pick up a stick off the ground that was cigarette shaped and pretended to looking at my own little clouds that I'm exhaling. So the fact that you use the word blessed fog, yeah, it was a pretty blessed experience for me too. When you don't have to travel, I got it. Fog a good thing. How do you know the clouds are high none? Did did they show up with Taco Bell? Fog is a good thing. When it's been in the upper 80s here, yeah, fog cools things down. True, and fog probably adds like a bunch of moisture to the environment it's in as well. So the little plants and insects get to get their fill. The worst way I ever really spending time with me in order to spend time with another friend of mine, who she was secretly in love with. Hmm. And you knowing that context made you feel, made you consider yourself, less significant in the grander equation, maybe. I'm sorry that the friendship got wrecked, but I am grateful that you learned that your love is important to people. I think that's an important one. Your love matters to people. And it's not always easy to really see how much. Especially in a world where we are trained to assign a dollar value to our time, right? Because that's the thing for me. I I feel loved when people spend time with me. Surprise, surprise, right? Oh, who would have guessed? But time is like one of the most valuable resources we have on this planet, right? We're not always seeing it that way, but that is kind of the reality of it. So, again, on that note, thank you for spending even a second of your time with me. I love you, and I hope you have an amazing day. You deserve to. Well, I'm a mass murderer. Jeez. Get some help, but also have a good day. I let the thought slip one day. Wait a second. You don't have to be five to enjoy that fractal. I still blow clouds when it's cold. Me too, Joe. I was just my very first moment, right? And even as a 5-year-old, I had this fascination with like looking cool, smoking. It was like such a trip, such a long time coming kind of vibe. I let the thought slip one day when I was in a bad way, and oh man, I didn't think our friendship would survive that. But she was determined to fix things, and we did. But things were kinda never the same. I remember saying during my apology that I don't feel like I'm important enough to anyone for my words to hurt them that much. And she said, but they do. Yeah, what a trip that is. Because I feel like that's not necessarily, I want to say a you problem, Loazana. Because I have that problem too, right? And I wonder how many of us have that problem. Again, and that was technically where this topic, and thank you so much for expanding on it, started, of the whole people don't realize how much their love matters, right? How big of a difference they can make with their love, with their heart, with their willingness to show up in this world, with the words you use. And for me, it's like this almost like duality where it's not that I don't believe that my words matter. It's almost like I have dissociated in a way, Loazana, to not consider how much they matter. And in that way, it's almost like it's easier for me to use my words. And I do try and be very vigilant, and I do try and be very kind in my use of words when it comes to the people I have in my life. But there is still a level of dissociation of that importance. And usually, that dissociation only melts when someone repeats back to me the words I've said to them a day ago, a week ago, a month ago, right? And I realize, oh goodness, I say things to people and they listen, and and I think maybe that's what it is, Loizana. We might not feel very listened to as individuals in our lives, and then that kind of shapes our own narratives about the things we say. Like, oh, people haven't been listening to me, so clearly what I have to say is of no value or whatever. No, no, it's not true. Don't let that imposter monster inside your brain tell you so. Sam, I'm 5'6", so every cloud is a high cloud to me. That is kind of funny. Taller than me by 1 inch, winning. Get some help, but also have a good day. And she, love you, friend. Thank you for echoing that one. The way my knees and back are going, give it a few more years. I will be the same size. Couple of more after that, and you're taller. If it's super foggy here, it means crazy humidity, so it will either be swampy gross or frozen bearship. Frozen bearship? Is that the word? Am I supposed to say it like that? Bearship. It sounds like a word, right? Bearship. We should make it a word. It's not our word. Stop calling me gross. Swamp gross. When you stop calling me Tina. It always surprises me when people actually listen to what I say by repeating it back to me at some later point. Right, Joy? It is. It is a very surprising thing. But you are cared about. You better believe it. Better start believing. I'm never gonna start calling you. Even funnier with the Tina Fractal Swampy. I binge Bob's Burgers and Tina as a girl. That's super dude like. And voice actor is a dude. So it totally just fits right now. Bless you, bro. That's hilarious. Yeah, it goes way back to being a little girl with nothing but older brothers and older boy cousins who treated me like I was ridiculous and invalid. Yeah, I think that is how it starts, Lozana. Literally, being invalidated, right? Being demeaned, being written off, patronized. I don't think marginalized is the word. Minimize. I think minimize is also another one. Made to be put off to the corner, like the yeah. Okay, okay. Bob Burgers is hilarious. It is pretty funny. I've only watched like a few episodes. I watched the episode with them in the frat house and the fish and the getting taken advantage of by teenagers. Like there was or I guess not teenagers, college students. So much yikes. That show has like a whole trip to it as well. You don't have to ever. Mama gave me the potential name. Gave me that potential name 39 years ago. It's here to stay. Calling you Tina feels so right. Rabbit, I totally get the feeling of invalidation. It's why I'm so giving. I feel being with me is transactional. Bob's Burgers is hilarious. And gee, bless. I always have the exact Tina visual. That exact Tina visual. Alright. Love is true. I feel we escaped any of the thoughts we weren't supposed to think about. I think it's pretty good. Like that says, Swampy, I'm basically a teddy. A talkative, lively, autistic handyman of a heart of gold. And Bob, an exhausted dad, full of love but totally human in his expression of stress and family. I think the thing that messes with me is I watched Archer. I watched a lot of Archer. And then I found out about Bob's Burgers. I think if I watched Bob's Burgers and then Archer, it would have been better. But it wasn't. It wasn't like that. So for me, it's kind of jarring. Like the level of authenticity I hear coming from Bob with the voice of Archer. Right? Because it's like beat for beat. It is the same voice. I mean, he's the same voice actor. You would expect it to be, but he doesn't put on an accent or like a little of a twang. He just. I watched a lot of Archer too. Mel. That's one of those. That's one of those thoughts you're not supposed to think about getting shows. The same Mel. You also have that like. It's kind of jarring. And like Archer in the show is like very. I want to say disingenuous. Like he's very much not the kind of character that is sharing his feelings. He's more the kind of character that is an alcoholic. Yeah, so it is an experience. Swampy. Archer is absolutely my top favorite show. Top favorite. Archer was a great show. I love that many of us actually got to experience that one. Nice. Tina awkwardly twerking. I also love Buds. I have to leave my house today. A friend in town with her beloved. A friend's in town with her beloved, and we have plans to meet at a lounge downtown. It is 11 million degrees, and I don't want to get dressed, paint my toes, or leave my house today. I don't have super suit for you just yet, Joy Vive. Today's stream topic is about the things we're not supposed to think about, right? I think this is a classic example of maybe don't think about the fact that it's 11 million degrees outside. 11 million T. What's that word you said? 11 million. Yeah, there we go. It is 11 million degrees outside. And just think about how nice it's gonna be to see your friends again. How nice the air conditioning will be inside that lounge downtown. And how nice the air conditioning will be in your Uber. You taking an Uber? You'll be fine. Just don't think about it. It's an outdoor rooftop lounge. Imagine how nice those iced drinks will be that they'll serve you. Think about that. How great that's gonna be. It's gonna be so great. Oh yeah, I do feel you though. You're a good friend. Maybe that could be the thing to think about as well. You're a good friend for wanting to go out and see your friend. That's some good friend stuff you're doing, Joy, and I'm proud of you for that. Joy, get one of those wonderful romper things, comfy, flowy, and covers most parts. I don't know why, but it brings me like a genuine level of joy, and I think it's because I'm an external observer, but it brings me a genuine level of joy to see Duck Dad of all people give Joy Vive clothing advice. So this sun is blasting your arm arms.
Do it down and back and maybe hang some washing?
Nice. Oh, no. Rompers do not work for every body-shaped duck. It's true, which makes it even more beautiful that Duck Dad, just like recommends like that. A romper. I think I'd be able to rock a romper. It has to be like highly psychedelic though, very psychedelic. You need to like almost not notice the romper. You need to be like, what the hell is that guy wearing? And then realize I'm wearing a romper. Hey Google, show me a romper. Oh goodness. Oh, what the fuck? Oh jeez. The first photographs I got, I don't think that's what I was supposed to see. My eyeballs, please. Please, no, stop. No, please scroll away, please. Show me anything else, thank goodness. Bro, I'm starting to like regret me saying that I'd be able to rock this. My bulge would draw too much focus on a romper. It probably would, bro, because it goes like right between your legs. It seems. Yeah, the bulge would give us away, bro. Jeez, no rompers for us. Shucks. Let's do like a big shucks. I could feel you doing that, dude. Love is true. It's nice having you here, Gabby Goo. Yes. I do have a paper fan and a little battery powered one. Yeah, good. Good. I'm happy that you have that. That's gonna help. I did not even think of bringing one or both, Please do. That does help. Maybe the umbrella is also a cool fractal. You could be like styling. You should have like a. Do you have hats? A romper, a hat, and an umbrella, and suddenly people are gonna be like looking for the paparazzi when you rock up to that outdoor lounge. Oh, Nancy, please take care. Is Nancy on her way? Am I missing some? I do. Bless again. You have a folding fan, umbrella. All right. All right. That's where I was missing. Joy, I'm visiting with a couple of friends I've known since grade school. Then I'm doing an overnight with all of those friends who lives in Nevada, where it will be in the upper 90s. Yeah, like South African weather kind of vibes. My heart feels for you, Nancy. Stay hydrated is all I can say. Humidity in Joy's area is like 91% right now. Oh, the humidity here is like 35%, so it's been pretty crispy and dry. That is that is very wet. That's very wet. Take care, do please. Head is too big for hats. It might mess with your hair too, right? I haven't seen your hairdo in a while, Joy. Usually we had like these little like Sunday classes. They were like a part of the studio that I was teaching for. They were called sanghas, and I got to see Joy Viv's new hair every week. So my mind wants to ask like, what's your hairdo like right now? Do you have your hair done, or is that also gonna have to happen? And is it happening today? Yeah, you did say I have to leave my house today. This was a very good hangout this morning. I hope you all gain as much benefit from it as I did. Having friends like you to fill my cup on a day that is going to be quite exhausting is just amazing. Thank you, Dog Dad, for showing up, bro. For sharing this moment with us and for adding to the space, right? Like, a lot. Thank you for adding yourself, for giving of yourself, right? You did mention the whole feeling like spending time with you is transactional. If it was, I feel like I'm richer for having you in my life. Sending you blessings, bro. We'll see you again soon. There are these things that I love for stupidly hot days. I don't know what you call them, but it's like a long strip of fabric that is filled with little crystal things. You soak it in cold water. I mean, I do the same thing with my scarves, but I'm thinking the crystals might hold onto the liquid a little bit better so it doesn't end up soaking onto your clothing or something. But that does sound nice. I haven't seen those. I don't know what they're called either. No, I haven't done my hair yet today. It looks like a tornado went through it currently. That's awesome. That's awesome. You should see me every single morning. That's literally like I wake up and I get to be horrified by what I look like every day. It's awesome. It's so cool. I'll probably just put into French braid. It's too hot to have it down. Yeah, I can feel you. Like having anything that captures more heat onto your body is not a vibe. Jovi, maybe free some water bottles while you prepare. You can always use a cold water bottle to keep cool. True. Just holding it in your hands would literally help cool down your system. Just remember, wherever you are in the world experiencing intense heat and discomfort, that your friendly neighborhood landscaper is working hard to keep you pretty. That is true, right? And technically, having more landscaping also helps with the heat. So, double superpowers, bro. Humidity is not really an issue here. That is nice. Not having high humidity helps a lot. Is humidity a thing in Canada, or is it just crazy dry all the time? I think it again depends on where you are. I think it changes depending on proximity to bodies of water, especially. And technically, I am close to a body of water here. You would think there would be more humidity in the air. Let me see what the humidity is like right now. Should I should I hit this button? Updating. Ihossi! goodness. Remember when I was like, oh yeah, it's like 35%. No, it's 11% humidity right now. That's so dry, dude. Goodness. I've been cranking my humidifier. I got myself a humidifier because when I was sick a while ago, it felt like I was breathing sand. Like, and it was like close to 35% humidity back then. And it was like, oh, I'm breathing sand. This fucking sucks. And I was like, I need to get a humidifier. And they weren't as expensive as I thought they would be. They're like $30. And I was like, yeah. Not feeling like I'm breathing sand is worth more than $30 to me. So we got the humidifier. But it's freaking 11% humidity out here right now. 11%. That is very low of percentages. There's so low humidity that our dew point, in other words, for there to be like fog and stuff in the air, it has to be minus 12 degrees Celsius, which won't happen. But it has been getting down to like ones. Like we can expect 2 degrees Celsius tomorrow morning kind of vibe. So it gets pretty cold in the mornings. All right. I pulled the Mountain Apis card. Card number 23. Always humid out here, yeah. That Florida water and surface area. Like a sauna west of the Rockies. Humidity isn't really a big thing. Humidity in Toronto nearly killed me. Here in Saskatchewan, we usually have dry heat and dry cold, but there are always exceptions, it's true. There's a burp on a rainbow on some mountains with some clouds. There is ancient structures that are long abandoned and no longer lived in, but surely they were. What a world. Imagine living in that village as a person, raising your family with that view. I think it's in Cambodia. Let me just check. It's in Peru. It's in Peru. Machu Picchu. I mean, it still got it. Got some wins to meet. Look at this. Look at this. Like, look at that. You're like living in one of these houses, raising a family, and then you like come outside with your coffee, and that's the view you have. Oh my goodness. Oh, I would die. I would just die so happily. I would just, I would walk out one side and be like, okay, now I can die. Look, I've seen more beautiful thing, and now I die. What a paradisio. That green one was especially nice. Because I'm imagining they had that stuff cultivated and they had like food growing. At that peak, what did it look like? All right. So now that we know with this card, or what this card was inspired by, at least. Let me just finish the comments first. Dad, giving clothing advice. I'm a girl dad. I know a couple items. I wear the shit out of a romper. If they were way to hide the pouch. Nice, more. Oh, love is true. Right? It would be nice. I think we would look good, dude. You make them super psychedelic and then you're just rocking a one piece. My name is Aaron Crayo, a professional skater from... What? I think I'm missing something. You might be thinking of Natalie. Purpose of her romper. Suggest freezing your underwear. Probably less effective, no please. Sacred places. Earth energies. Those are the core intentions of this card. This card honors places that are sacred around the planet. And here the ancient city of Machu Picchu in Peru. It's a hard word to say, okay? It is recognized as a World Heritage Site and is revered as one of the most compelling and majestic sacred sites on the planet. The green, dome-shaped mountains that surround the peak on which Machu Picchu was built stirred my imagination and inspired this unconventional view of the city. The Andean people called these mountains apus, which means mountain spirits. Communication with these great beings and the importance of preserving sacred sites guide this message. There are places all around our planet that by cultural tradition, placement on the earth grid, and by your own intuition will bring you into alignment with earth energies. As you are called to these places of power, remember to always go in a sacred manner, with respect for the people and cultures of the region. Recognize that you are called to journey to these regions and feel the place and feel the spirit of place that resides there. You are connecting wisdom traditions old and new in a manner that can enhance your personal worldview as well as aid in the reconnection of energy grids. The earth energies of your home base provide you with all the comfort you need at this time. I'm seeing flowers. Good. It was like inward curved to make like basically what looks like this sphere. And then each of those little curvatures to make that sphere was like a petal, but they were see-through. And these petals were holding onto what looked like pink and blue cosmic clouds inside those little petals. And then on the outside, there were these pink long petals pulling outwards. I feel nurtured. I feel grounded enough to grow flowers. Let me see if I missed some comments. I wonder if you can buy one on the way. Made of chili. No, please. No. No. Thoughts to not think about. Chili pants. Oh, you mean the plants will be chilly? Like cold? No. The plants are made with capsaicin. Extreme amounts of capsaicin. It's a prank you pull on your friends that ends them up in the hospital. No, please. No, I'm gonna go and get my drum. But before I do, I'm gonna ask the machine to help me. Today we talked about all of the thoughts you're not supposed to think about. In part, sexuality, in part, insecurity, sometimes financial worry, sometimes relationship stressors, sometimes just a sense of not being good enough. There are so many thoughts that are not helpful in our lives. And instead of seeing these thoughts as evil or as wrong or as morally deplorable, we can see them as unhelpful in a certain moment to the objective you're trying to accomplish as a consciousness. I'm just telling this AI, it's just like, I didn't ask it to do anything. I'm just telling it, being like, oh wait, bro, what do you think about this? What do you think about anything about this, dude? I have some information. Doug was talking about freezing. Yeah, no, I got that. I got that part. I did get that part. I just had to like push the capsaicin. Duck Dad does do the chilies kind of vibe, you know, so it would make sense. It would be able to like synth a lot of chilies and just extract the capsaicin and embed it into the fibers of the. I don't know, please. Duck Canada sounds good. The AI, I think, is having a hard time dealing with what I just said. It's being like, bro, It's like really thinking about it. I probably just have to restart, but yeah. It wrote me a poem. That's great. That's fantastic. But can you please write me a beautifully descriptive and verbose goodbye message using a bunch of different descriptive words to praise the listener in my goodbye to them as we finish today's stream. Maybe consider what we talked about in your writing of it. This is not going to be a sham message. No. Oh goodness, it's really going for it. Oh jeez. No, stop. No, no. It's writing out. It's writing out its seventh paragraph now. Uh, can you condense all of the most significant parts of that down into a single sentence, please? Maybe a paragraph at most. Let's see what it does with that. Absolutely. There we go. That's about how long an average sham message is. As we conclude today's stream, I want to thank each and every one of you incredible friends for your openness and support. Remember, you are resilient and capable. Embracing both the light and the shadows of your thoughts as opportunities for growth. You are truly extraordinary, and I look forward to our next adventure together. Stay curious, stay compassionate, and stay true to yourself. Thank you, dear friends, for sharing these moments with me, for sharing your love. It truly is a blessing getting to spend time in this way. I'll see you friends again very soon. Tomorrow. Goodbye for now.